Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today I am going to explain how to properly dose Melanotan 2. As promised from my previous video, just giving the overview of Melanotan, I had to do an entire video just to explain the dosing on it. So I want to start off by thanking everybody that has been supporting the rebirth of the channel and helping it grow. I would ask everybody watching, please subscribe to the channel and make sure to click that bell notification so you don't miss any of the new content that I'm pushing out constantly now. We're trying to get as much out there as we can, so please help the channel grow. And if you would click that like button if you're enjoying these videos, it will only help me to get bigger, help the channel grow, etc. So let's support as much as we possibly can, and I will continue to deliver for everybody watching. So let's jump into this dosing because I got a lot to cover here. I want to give you a full rundown and give you a full explanation on how to properly dose Melanotan 2. So Melanotan 2 itself has a half-life of 36 hours in your body, and so this allows you to be very flexible with your dosing. Now the recommended dosage is going to start at 250 micrograms every day, and what that's going to do is help your body kind of acclimate to the new peptide that you put in your body and minimize the side effects. The side effects can be, problematic to an extent. We want to keep them at a minimum, especially when it comes to starting out, because let me tell you something right now. The nausea that you get like this after you inject it, if you inject too much, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it at all. That was one of the main drawbacks I had to it when I used it every single time. And for whatever reason, my stomach just never really agreed with it well, but I will tell you the other benefits I reaped from it though, so there's a fine line there. You can continue with this dose indefinitely if you're intending to do like a kind of a low dose regimen. But if you want to dose higher, after at least like 2 to 4 days, or if you feel good on it and you feel okay and comfortable, you can up it to about 500 micrograms per day. 500 is going to be like the most common dose that most people use. You can increase it up to 1 milligram, but I really would be hesitant to do that. It's just not necessary. If you're a lot bigger, heavier person, maybe you might consider that, but I'm always hesitant to go that high. Look, that's up to you on where your comfort level is. I just know that I would be a little careful with that. Now, let's talk about the loading phase. So I'm going to give you a plan here about how to load it. So day 1 through 10. That's where you're going to be loading it. I would do that up to 0.5 milligrams, but I would go 250 micrograms. I would go at least 5 days. I know I said 2 to 4 to start, but if it was me personally and I was sitting down with you and I was coaching you and it was a one-on-one thing, I would say 5 days minimum. I gave you a breakdown of what a lot of people do in that 2 to 4 range. Just know that if you paid me to do your coaching, and this was one of the things we were coaching, I would personally say we're going to wait 5 days because it's not it's not a rush. And look, you can always start too low and increase, but if you start too high, you're just going to set yourself up for problems the entire time. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not worth it. It's just a couple days. So once you've reached like your desired level of tan, that you can enter what is known as the maintenance phase. All right, and we do this with like TB500, for example, and many other compounds. So you got to do a much less frequent dose than you would daily. And it's different for everyone. Some people will do like 500 micrograms every 3 to 4 days, or just 1 milligram during the entire week. Just keep it spread out. Don't try to do 1 milligram all at once because that will... I'm telling you, you're going to feel that nausea and you don't want to feel it. This is just to maintain your color without darkening. If you want to get darker, obviously we're going to keep that loading going and you can keep doing it. But let me tell you something right now, and my wife can attest to this. I have one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me was I was living in Maui using Melanotan 2 for the first time. And you understand that the sun in the tropics, especially in Hawaii, is going to be pretty strong. And you're told when you use Melanotan to also get some UV ray to help enhance it. Well, I went a little too far with that, and I was so dark it was embarrassing for me because it happened so fast. It just didn't look right. I was embarrassed for a good week and didn't want to even leave my house because I get dark really fast. being in the sun. I'm Italian. I kind of have more European olive-like skin, and I tan fast as it is. And that's why in videos in the past, people will point out, oh, you've been tanning? Because I get dark so fast. I just got back from vacation, so I have been in the sun. But just be careful and keep it monitored. A lot of people ask, how long does it take to show results? And look, there's no fixed time because everybody's different. And some people are more pale, some people are darker, like complected. I'm kind of in between, I guess, but I get dark fast. And some people don't. Some people it takes longer. Some people have gone to tanning beds, been on vacation. They just don't get as dark as fast. Some people go out in the sun once or twice, and they're so dark they want to be careful to even go back out. So everybody's different. Generally, most people are going to see excellent results by the time they get through 2 vials, or like 20 milligrams of Melanotan 2. Those with extremely fair skin, it might take you 4 or 5 weeks. There's no way for me to tell you exactly. Now, look, you want to get sufficient UV exposure too when you're using this. So if you're using this in the winter and you're not getting any sunlight, it's going to take longer. Unless you're in a tanning bed, and I don't recommend doing that a lot. I mean, I do it once in a while for maintenance, but if you're using this and you're not getting out into the sun or getting some UV, I'm not saying it won't work. It's just going to take longer to work, okay? So instead of letting it fade and go through the process again, you're going to want to make sure that you get some UV rays, and if you want to continue to keep this darker look, then you're going to have to do a maintenance dose here and there. You're just going to have to. Otherwise, you're going to have to start all over from scratch. And not that that's the end of the world or anything, but it's going to be more expensive. And, you could still experience side effects that you got through already, etc. So it's really up to you on how you want to do it, but that's how you dose it. That's how you go through the loading phase, the maintenance phase, all of that. Just understand that while I give you these doses, everybody's different, everybody's response is different. You've got to do what's best for you, and you've got to listen to your body and see how you personally respond. This is just some guidelines for you to follow, and then you go from there. So that being said, please continue to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.